Welcome back, YouTube. This is my RX100 Mark V. Why am I using this like this? Let me tell you. I want to talk to you about this camera, but more specifically, I want to talk to you about the a6400. I think that the a6400 is going to be the camera that moves everyone who shoots on an RX100 camera to the interchangeable lens market, and I'll tell you why. I think that the RX100 Mark V shooters really like this camera for two reasons. One is its form factor, and two, it can do this. Now, why is this super important? Well, for anybody who travels or somebody who is, out taking photos, hiking, or doing whatever, they want a small, portable camera that has good image quality, and people are attracted to this camera for a couple of reasons. One is the autofocus. This camera has amazing autofocus, right? It's got a lot of phase detection points that cover most of the screen. Not only that, it has a 1-inch sensor, so it's awesome in low light. And you pair that 1-inch sensor with a 24-70 equivalent of this f1.8 to f2.8 lens, and it's even better. It's comparable to a lot of Canon's APS-C size sensor lineup. As far as low light and autofocus, it usually blows it out of the water. Although Canon has a dual pixel autofocus, I think this is far superior. So what about the a6400 is better than this? Well, I think the a6400 is really the answer for RX100 shooters. We've been holding out, and our prayers have been answered in real life. The a6400 still has the flip-out screen, but it is better in almost every single way than this camera is. Let's talk about it. Starting from the top, on the overall form factor, it's still small. It's small enough, but it's bigger than what it's been. This is great, but it doesn't quite fit in your pocket. It's still a little bulky. And to be honest, most times this camera is so sleek that I really wish it had a grip on it. The a6400 addresses both of those concerns. It's a little bit larger to allow for better balance in the hands, but it also has a grip for me to hold on to. It also has more customizable control buttons, which is huge for me. And it also has extra buttons on the top so that you can assign different things, and a better menu to explain the assigning, but that's for another day. Aside from that, it also has interchangeable lenses. A moment on interchangeable lenses. They're huge. The only downside to interchangeable lenses is the cost and size, but most of the E-mount lenses can stay small if you know what you're doing. If you're somebody like me who likes to travel and carry this camera literally everywhere you go, the 16-50 is a perfect start. It's the kit lens, it yields good good image quality, and it keeps the camera slim. It folds in, it power retracts in, and it's not much larger than this overall package. So what else about the E-mount lens is good? Well, the E-mount system itself is good. I started looking around for better cameras that had a little bit larger bodies to upgrade my content, offer me more features, and just allow me to create a little bit better YouTube videos overall. So I started looking at the M50, but realized that it was handicapped by the lens selection. With 5 lenses to select from, I really wasn't going to go very far. However, the E-mount system mounts all APS-C and full-frame lenses to any camera. So, whether or not I want the 16-50, or I am going to my friend's wedding and I want to partake in my photography passion there as well, I can rent the 24-70 f2.8 G Master lens, which is a behemoth, but it will still fit, and it will still work very well with that camera. Having interchangeable lenses allows you to be adaptable for a variety of shooting situations, as well as do things like long exposure during the day, allowing you to attach lens hoods and filters along with that. So I'm very excited about the expandable, interchangeable lens system. The next thing I really like about the a6400 is the battery, right? So this battery, although it's very small, it's very small. And so I end up carrying 4 or 5 of these things around with me. And to be honest, the battery life really isn't that great. I'm already looking at 50% right now. Now, the a6400 uses the same NP battery that the a65 and the a63 use. However, it is better. The a6400 has the new processor from the A9, which allows it to be much more efficient. You can shoot video for way longer, and you can take many more stills, which is fantastic. The other thing that the a6400 has that this camera lacks is a hot shoe mount. Now, there's been a lot of animosity surrounding the hot shoe mount. Apparently, everybody wants everything at the same time. The hot shoe mount goes here, and so it does impede the flip-up screen. However, do we vlog all the time? What about a vlog like this where I can still see me and all the stuff, right? So, yeah, I can put I have a hot shoe mount there. I can mount an external microphone and film a video for somebody else. A wedding photo, a video for my girlfriend and her channel. She's an active blogger. And it's going to work perfectly. It has a microphone in, right? So if I'm worried about vlogging, I can use something like Sennheiser's new XS system, which is a digital lavalier microphone system, and it will plug right in the side. And I can get a small reed cage and just mount it on the side. It's very small. It's about the size of a AA battery, and I'll have awesome audio, and I can use the flip-up screen. It's a fantastic answer. That really, really efficient processor also doesn't produce much heat. And so now the camera really isn't going to overheat anymore. So that enables Sony to remove the recording limit on video. So now the a6400 is a camera with no recording limit. So for those of you who want to do really, really long wedding processions, or you want to shoot long tech reviews, or you just want to do some live streaming, that camera will run as long as you have it hooked up to battery power, a charged battery or a battery pack, and it's only limited by the room on your SD card. So there's a lot of opportunity there with that camera. It also has a much upgraded autofocus system. Now, let me say something. The autofocus system in this camera here, the Mark V, is fantastic. I've never had any issues with it. I don't think it needs to be upgraded. I think it's like a machine gun, right? This camera shoots 24 frames a second, which is why it will remain in my arsenal, because this is a great camera for close-ups and things like that. However, for vlogging, it isn't always the best. The autofocus is great, but the new one on the a6400 is that much better. It has many more autofocus points to cover a lot of the screen, and it also has a tap to focus that is just super great. And with that processor chip that's in the A9, that camera can do some amazing tracking, right? It uses eye autofocus and face autofocus, and when you turn like this, it uses image autofocus or optical tracking. So you really, it's going to make it hard to miss shots. The other options, that are better on the a6400 are things like HLG, hybrid log gamma. For those of you who want to shoot in high dynamic range, it also has S-logs available. There are more shooting profiles. The My Menus app is better. It has a separate tab now where you can add all of your favorite used features onto it, as well as simple things that you wouldn't even think of, like where the SD card slot is located. On this particular camera, it's covered. So whenever this camera is mounted to a tripod, you cannot take the SD card out. On the a6400, it's moved over a little bit, and the tripod mount is actually centered, which also makes a lot of sense. However, as you can see here, this is not centered. But it also allows you to get at the battery and the SD card without having to take it off a tripod, which is huge. So with internal microphones that are moved to the front, interchangeable lenses, better battery life, better heat management, unlimited 4K, recording limits, as well as a flip-up screen, right? A bigger battery for better life, better build quality, larger grip. This is the perfect upgrade for somebody who shoots with one of these, the RX100 Mark V. I think that a lot of people want this camera to be everything, and I know that a lot of people are upset that they don't have IBIS. Don't worry, they'll get to it. The a6700 will be basically the a64 with IBIS and maybe another feature, maybe another control button or something like that. But for somebody who's looking to move from the compact premium point-and-shoot market to the entry-level interchangeable lens camera market, it makes perfect sense.